So, you have a great idea. Now what? Hi, welcome back. Thank you for listening. Today I want to talk about the what am I doing moments, because there's a lot of them in at least my own personal journey, and I can guess probably yours too. There are these moments, lots of them, where you wonder, is what I'm doing valid? Is what I'm doing needed? Why am I doing this? And because of these moments, it's really important to do the writing, to do the research in the initial phases. As I brought up in my second video, if you don't fully understand what you're doing in these moments of questioning, in these moments of doubt, it's really hard to ground yourself back down into the project. I know, at least in my personal journey, I turned down a really well-paying job that offered security, both financially and career-wise, let's say, in order to do this thing that's incredibly scary and ultimately may not work. I don't know. I turned down security to do something scary, and maybe that's also part of your journey. And if it is, these moments of doubt can really send you into a spiral about what you're doing. So it's really important to do that initial process of writing down what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, if you don't believe in what you're doing, how are you going to convince other people to believe in your project? So these moments for me, these moments of doubt and questioning, let's not say doubt. The doubt doesn't happen as frequently anymore. It did a lot in the initial phases. I wasn't sure that other people would accept my project, that there was validity in what I was doing. Was I doing some kind of like self-gratifying project that really only fed my own ego? I had a lot of these kinds of moments. Is this about me, or is this really about community? At the end of the day, I do really believe in what I'm doing, and I do really love the project I've created, and it really means something to me. So doubting the validity of the project isn't really what happens anymore, but about every 2 weeks or so, I have to step back and reevaluate, because I'm in really early stages, and sometimes people just don't show up, and it's hard. And I wonder what I'm doing wrong. But I think wrong isn't wrong. There's really no clear way to define what is wrong at the initial phases. You are figuring out what is right. There isn't really a wrong. You just have to keep trying new things. And about every 2 weeks, I show up at my space, and I sit down and I look around, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. And I find I get really overwhelmed by those moments, and it's really easy for me personally to freeze, to really lose sight of my own goals, my own dreams, and my own desires for this project in those moments, because it's hard sometimes to see the way forward. The saying, it's hard to see the forest through the trees. Sometimes I'm sitting in my space watching my dream become a reality, and I'm so overwhelmed by it that I don't know what to do next. And if you have a physical space, or even if you don't, even if your project is something that moves around, maybe you're a freelance massage therapist, or maybe you do marketing but you work remotely, whatever your project is, what I find that helps me is to have a project, is to make a project that contributes to the betterment of my business, but isn't necessarily my business. And I'll give you an example. I had one of these weeks last week. I threw an event on Sunday. Sundays are community days where I invite the community into my space for free, for music, for art, for food, for community. Just let's hang out. It's a really cool space. I really like to be here, and I want other people in here enjoying it as well. So I had one of these. It was raining. If you know anything about the culture in Portugal, if it's raining, nobody's going out. So, because it doesn't rain here a lot, so people don't know what to do. It rains and people are like, oh, I guess I'm staying inside today. So it was a rainy day, and again, it's early doors, so nobody came. And I let it get to me. I let it get to me in a really big way, and I was questioning, am I doing this right? What am I doing? Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I don't know how to do this. Maybe I have a really great idea, but I don't know how to execute it. And that's not helpful. So I asked for help. I asked for advice on how to market, and I took a step back. And I came back this week super energized because I had that time. I took that time last week to step out of it. When we're doing something that we're so passionate about, we get so immersed in it that it's hard for us to see it from the outside. So you have to take yourself out. And whether that's taking it out physically or redirecting, or maybe you just take a break, maybe you take a little mini vacation, whatever your thing is, take yourself out of it. Take yourself out of that moment, step back, look at the thing as a whole. And that's what I did. I redirected my energy to some online marketing, trying different avenues to connect with people, to reach people. And I came back this week really refreshed. But the thing that I think really was important was I came back this week with projects. So for instance, yesterday, I built chairs. Directly related to my project, no. Directly related to my space being better, yes. So just for context, I am not buying new things within reason for my space. Some things obviously have to be bought new. But for the most part, everything is secondhand. Everything is donated or bought secondhand or found secondhand. And this means that a lot of the furniture need repairs. So I had the frame to a stool, a tall chair, but no seat, no back, nothing. And yesterday I built the seat in the back. I had another chair that had a great frame, but the cushion was completely covered in mold and dirt, and it needed to be reupholstered. So yesterday, I spent the day at my space doing these kinds of hands-on projects that got me reinvested in who I am as a business, in my identity as a business. And just to call back again, why I said it's so important to write, because when you have these moments of doubt, when you have these moments where you don't know what you're doing, having a concrete idea, a belief system, if you will, let's get kind of weird with it, but being firmly rooted in the idea of your business helps. So part of the identity of my business is that we're not contributing to throwaway culture. We're taking the things that people want to throw away and we're reinventing them, we're reestablishing them, which gives us the opportunity to, as I said in the brand identity video, it gives us the opportunity to use these secondhand objects to better our brand identity within our space, which is super exciting. So if you can, when you have these moments of doubt, take a step back and redirect your focus to a different area of the business. So I went from struggling for the week previous with marketing. It's not something I enjoy doing. I did it for so long as a yoga teacher that I have a really, especially marketing on social media, let's say, specifically. And I struggled for a week to organize posts because I do my posts in 2 languages, and I need to make sure that these texts are approved. So I have to write my post in advance. I can't post in the moment. I have to write my social media and as well as things going on my website in advance. And sometimes this really gets me stuck. So I spent a week trying to do this marketing, wasn't super successful with it, and then I had an event where nobody came. And these moments get so hard. Ultimately, what I did was ask for help with people who knew marketing better, but were further away from my business. Because again, I'm so immersed in the idea of what I'm doing, it's hard for me to step back and figure out how to organize things. And my friend said, hey, instead of doing these super general posts about what you're doing, which my space is multifunctional, so what I'm doing is a lot and it's flexible and it changes. So she suggested, why don't you just do some posts about each specific thing that it's possible to do in your space? Wow, that made it so much easier. So much easier. One question to one friend. So when you get stuck in these moments, my 2 pieces of advice: ask for help. Whatever you're stuck with, whatever you're feeling like is blocking you from moving forward, or whichever path forward you're struggling with, find a friend, find an expert, find an internet video, find an Instagram channel, whatever your method is. Find somebody who knows that and ask what they recommend, because they're outside of it, which means they can probably see the problem and solution in a different way than you can, which is also super helpful when you're building a business, is to get the perspectives of others. And the other thing I recommend is stepping away from whatever is frustrating you, whatever is making you question what you're doing, and find a different project related to your business. Build a chair. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you next time.